but it's still quite a ways from Syracuse. It's not pressing to the west very quickly. It could be till 10, 11 or midnight before we see any light snow here in Syracuse. Periods of light snow during the overnight bring a trace to an inch or two. Now those counties further to the southeast, 2 to as much as 6 inches of snow, with the biggest amounts in Otsego County. Tomorrow flurries end. We'll get some breaks of sunshine, especially late day with a high of 37 degrees. Dora?
Thanks, Mike. Just after 5:30, here are the top 5 stories on CBS 5 News. The Hard Hat Expo at the State Fairgrounds today brought out high school students who want to start a career in construction and transportation. Nationwide, construction firms added 18,000 jobs in 2012, and experts predict more than 250,000 jobs could be added in the year ahead. Alex Rusilla reports from the fairgrounds just ahead. The rate of sexual violence against women and girls over 12 fell sharply between 1995 and 2005 and remained stable for the next 5 years. The Bureau of Justice Statistics survey concludes that in 2012, women and girls nationwide experienced about 270,000 rapes or sexual assaults. That was less than half in the number in 1995. A bus aide from the Mohawk Valley has been arrested accused of forcibly touching a developmentally disabled student. Investigators say 47-year-old Howard Brote of Utica touched the female student several times and taunted her by pretending he was going to pour soda on her head. The suspect has been charged with forcible touching, a misdemeanor. Athletes at Cooperstown Central School will no longer take the field as the Redskins. The school board voted to drop its long-standing Redskins mascot, prompted by students who found the nickname offensive to Native Americans. Possible replacements include Deer Slayers, Hawkeyes, and Pathfinders. The official retirement of the Redskins nickname will take place in June. The Syracuse Zoo unveiled its newest addition today, this Humboldt penguin chick. She's called Magdalena, or Maggie for short. The zoo says it selected an Hispanic name to reflect the penguin's Latin American roots. Humboldt penguins are named after the Humboldt Current, which is a cold, nutrient-rich ocean current that flows along the west coast of South America. There are currently 34 penguins in the colony at the zoo. With so many construction projects happening across central New York, we're taking a closer look at the jobs forecast for central New York in the year ahead. CBS 5's Alex Rusilla reports.
Look across central New York and you'll find bulldozers and construction crews hard at work.
This time of year, you're into a kickoff for the construction season.
It's a good time to be in the construction business. Nationwide, service firms including construction companies added roughly 200,000 jobs between November and January, and they expect to add another 100,000 in the next year. Davis St. Denis will graduate high school this year, and he's thrilled by the prospects of starting a career in construction and transportation.
Definitely construction. I love working with my hands and I'm good at it.
And he's not the only one looking at prospects at the Hard Hat Expo at the State Fairgrounds.
I'm just kind of looking around, seeing all the new stuff, kind of looking at the vendors, checking them all out, see what's out there really.
And whether they're interested in driving this truck behind me or in some other area, these high school students are just looking to start out their career by making a connection.
We come out here, try finding people that are hiring. There are some places here that offer scholarships to go to schools.
When he graduates, St. Denis hopes to land a construction job. Doug Paul, the truck sales manager, says there are jobs out there.
Transportation as a whole is looking for mechanics, which we're having a difficult time finding and hiring.
Good news for these young students as they prepare to enter the workforce this spring. Reporting from the fairgrounds, I'm Alex Rusilla.
A new baby Humboldt penguin was unveiled today at the Syracuse Zoo. A group from All Saints Elementary School in Syracuse chose the baby penguin's name Magdalena after her Latin American origins. Onondaga County Executive Joni Mahoney was on hand, along with the zoo director Ted Fox, who told the kids just how small the baby was when she was born.
This little girl hatched about 3 or 4 days early, and when she hatched, to put that in perspective of how small she was, she weighed about the equivalent of 12 nickels.
Humboldt penguins are endangered, with only 12 to 30,000 remaining in the wild. There are currently 34 penguins in the colony at the Syracuse Zoo. There were 5 hatchings at the zoo last year. To Washington, where the president is stepping up his outreach to Republican lawmakers. He's looking for new ways to break the stalemate over the nation's budget and debt. Tara Merginger has the latest.
Cameras didn't catch Republican Congressman Paul Ryan at the White House, but they did spot his Democratic colleague Chris Van Hollen arriving for lunch. The meeting is part of President Obama's new strategy to break the gridlock in Washington. Wednesday night, the president invited a dozen GOP senators out for dinner, including Bob Corker.
I don't think there's any expectation that something over the next month or 6 weeks is going to occur, but I think it helped lay a foundation for constructive talks.
The president is personally reaching out to Republicans after the White House and Congress failed to stop automatic budget cuts from taking effect.
This is what most Americans think should be happening all the time. The fact that this is a big deal tells you about the dysfunction in Washington.
Republican leaders haven't been on the president's invite list this week, but House Speaker John Boehner doesn't see it as a snub.
After being in office now for 4 years, he's actually going to sit down and talk to members. I think it's a sign, a hopeful sign, and I'm hopeful that something will come out of it.
The White House insists reaching across the aisle has always been important to the president.
The president has made clear since the election, since the inaugural, that he's interested in working cooperatively and together with members of both parties.
Next week, the president plans to make 2 separate trips to Capitol Hill to sit down with lawmakers. Tara Mergener for CBS News, the White House.
The SU men's basketball team snapped its losing streak and now looks forward to a showdown on Saturday. Sports director Nico Tamurian checks in with the Orange coming up in sports. And here's a look at live Doppler radar precipitation moving in our direction. Keep it here on CBS 5 News at 5:30.